Some places are meant to heal, but what happens when they become the reason you never feel safe again? Hospitals are where life begins and sometimes ends, but for a few unlucky people, they're also where something darker begins. Tonight, I'll share with you 3 true horror stories from hospitals. No gore, no cheap scares, just the kind of fear that stays with you. Let's begin. In 2003, a young intern named Adam was working late at a hospital in rural Texas. He had just finished a 12-hour shift and took the staff elevator down to the ground floor. But instead of going straight down, the elevator stopped at the 3rd floor. The doors opened to a pitch-black hallway. No lights, no movement. This was strange. Maintenance had closed that floor weeks earlier for renovations. Thinking it was a glitch, Adam reached to press the close button. Before he could, he swore he saw a wheelchair roll across the hallway. No one was pushing it. It moved slowly, deliberately, until it vanished into the darkness. Adam hit every button in panic until the doors finally closed. Later that night, he told security. The guard went pale and asked, "You said 3rd floor? That's where the fire started 5 years ago. No one goes there anymore." In 2011, a nurse named Rachel was working night shifts at a London hospital. Her ward was mostly quiet after 2 a.m. But for weeks, she and the staff noticed something strange. Room 209's call button kept lighting up on the board, even though the room had been empty for months. One night, Rachel decided to check it herself. She entered the room with a flashlight. It was cold, colder than the rest of the building. The bed was still made, untouched. As she turned to leave, she heard a whisper just behind her. It was soft, but she made out the words, "Don't leave me here." She spun around. No one was there. The next day, she mentioned it to an older nurse, who simply said, "That room belonged to a patient who died waiting for someone to visit. No family, no friends. You're not the first to hear her." A doctor named Luis was called in late for an emergency in a hospital outside Manila. He arrived at around 3 a.m. and was told the patient, a man in his 40s with no ID, was in room 14. Luis entered the room, spoke to the man, and noted his symptoms. He wrote a few things down and promised to return in 10 minutes. When he came back, the bed was empty. Confused, he asked a nurse where the patient went. She looked puzzled and said, "What patient?" "Room 14's been empty all night." Thinking it was a mistake, Luis checked the CCTV footage. What he saw chilled him. He walked into room 14, but the video showed he was alone. The bed never moved. No one ever appeared on camera except him. He showed the clip to the head nurse. She took one look and quietly said, "This hospital was built over an old cemetery. Sometimes the past doesn't stay buried." Narrator, Khatma. Hospitals are places of hope, of healing, of science and certainty. But even there, some things defy explanation. A cold whisper, a disappearing patient, a ghost that just wants to be seen. Maybe not all wounds are physical, and maybe not all ghosts are looking to harm. But the next time you walk down a hospital hallway alone, ask yourself, are you really alone? If you enjoyed these stories, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more true horror every week. And remember, some rooms are never truly empty.